Hi, I'm Michael Goldberg. I'm the campaign chair for the Jewish Federation of Greater Metro West, and I enthusiastically agreed to be campaign chair for another year and a half until June 30th, 2022. So whoever I'm talking to, I'll be around for a while. So most people think that campaign chair is just about raising money and making sure all the programs are adequately funded. But it's actually, I learned that it's a lot more than that. You actually have to be involved in a lot of the committees so you understand how the inner workings of Federation is. So like the UAC committee, to know where the money's spent. How do you talk to a potential donor and making an investment in Federation and gain their trust if you don't understand where the money's being spent efficiently and wisely, especially in today's world where everybody is noticing what's going on and the uses are so much more powerful and how it's impacting people who really need support in today's world. So I spent a lot of time, like I said, with the UAC committee, with the day after committee now to know what our investments will be in the future. The emergency response team, which is allocating extra resources outside the UAC committee so that we can make sure that funds are going to the agencies that need the additional support at this period of time. And so everybody, it's all really about gaining the trust of the donors and being knowledgeable so that when you have a conversation with them, you can explain fully what their investment will go to. It can't be more impactful than that. And then obviously, if we don't raise the $20 million or $21 million that we need to raise every year, there has to be cuts in the different programs. So everybody, the professional, the lay leadership, as they call it, and the professional, which is everybody who works at Federation, really works hard to engage potential donors, outreach to new donors, and making sure don't take anybody for granted. I'm in the real estate business, and resident retention is probably the most important thing because it costs more to get a new resident than it is just to keep an existing resident. So we want to don't take any existing donor for granted. They are the most important people. They're consistently funded and help Federation meet its mission over 100 years because our anniversary is coming up in 2023. And so it involves not only talking to them about what their investment is, but having events. We all know that we have a major gifts event every year, but we also have other cultivation events, if you want to call it, to make sure that people are learning and find their Jewish identity. We also have, which was very successful in inspiring people, was the community mission a couple years ago. That brought 96, I believe, new people who never went to Israel before and associated them with what the roots are. It couldn't have been any better than that, and it was a great trip. It was very well planned. All the missions, I've been to Cuba, I've been to Argentina, I've been to Moscow in the last couple of years, and I was never a good traveler, so just getting out of the house is great for me. And I had a great time on all these missions and learned a lot about not only what happens overseas, but the same thing that overseas happens in our own backyard. The same people that are shut-ins in Moscow or Argentina or in Israel happen in our community. You wouldn't believe it, but it's really true. So we meet the needs not only in our own community, which is very important, but overseas. So it can't be any more fulfilling than that. And I enjoy it. I don't like asking people for money. I always say that. I enjoy telling people what Federation does and hoping that they will get involved just by acknowledging my own participation as well as the enthusiasm everybody at Federation has for what their goal is to help people. So thank you very much for listening.